I'm Anastasia Chatzka, a fashion designer with over 20 years of experience and a sewing educator. And I'm really excited you're here to share another sewing adventure with me today. Welcome to Sew Anastasia, and today we're going to do a denim jacket transformation. It's going to be so cool. We're going to take this amazing sequin fabric and we're going to make arms for this denim jacket. So we're going to rip them off and put new arms on. And it's only going to take us, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. If you're not already a subscriber to Sew Anastasia, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. Also, I'm now teaching sewing classes in studio and virtually, and you can sign up at sewanastasia.com. Supplies for this project are super simple. You're going to need your matching thread, you're going to need your scissors, you're going to need your seam ripper, you're going to need a yard of awesome fabric, and you're also going to need a denim jacket that you can rip apart. The first thing we're going to do is rip off this sleeve. So you can grab your scissors and cut right along the seam line, or grab your seam ripper and tediously open up that seam. I'm going to be using my scissors, so all I'm going to do is start a little snip into it, and I want to cut as close as I can get to that existing seam that's there, and I'm just going to work my way all the way around the armhole. Now that you have one sleeve off, go ahead and do the exact same thing to the other side. Now that we have our sleeves off, we are going to cut off the cuffs on the sleeves. We're gonna do the same thing and just cut right next to that seam line. Now go ahead and do the exact same thing to the other side. Now we have our cuffs, but don't throw these out because we are going to reuse these. Now going forward, I'm not going to be saying go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. I think you get it. Whatever I'm doing to the one sleeve, you're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing to your other sleeve. Now grab your cutoff sleeve and we are going to use this as a pattern piece for our new sequin sleeves. Now you want to make sure your fabric is folded in half, and you only need to fold it in half a little bit wider than your sleeve, and just make sure you leave room for seam allowance to go around the sides and the top. And now what we're going to do is just cut a 1/2 inch away from the denim all the way around, and we are going to end up with a sleeve. Okay, so I'm going to start at the side and just work my way all the way around the sleeve. And you'll notice I'm cutting a 1/2 inch away from it because I need that seam allowance. And I'm using scissors and not a rotary cutter because these sequins are super tough. Now let's go ahead and remove our pattern and check out our sleeve. And now we're going to use this sleeve as a pattern and cut out one more. Now that we have our sleeves cut out, we need to sew up the underarm seam. We're going to place our underarm seams right sides together, and we're going to sew it up at a 1/2 inch. Line it up at a 1/2 inch, and let's create a 1/2 inch seam. And be careful sewing your sequins. Make sure you're wearing glasses or goggles. I also like to make sure I'm using a really thick needle and go fairly slow. We now have two beautiful sleeves. Now it's time to grab your cuffs, and we are going to insert these onto the end of the sleeve. What you want to do first is go ahead and seam rip open the seam so that way we can insert the sleeve into the cuff. What we're going to do is open up the cuff, and we're going to insert the bottom edge of our sleeve into the cuff at about a 1/2 inch. Fold it back down and put a pin in it to keep it in place. And now you're going to work your way all the way around the cuff. Okay, and don't worry about the gap that we have here. That's totally fine because we're going to go ahead and cuff it. So I didn't leave the slit in the sleeve like the original sleeve had. You can if you want. You could leave a slit here and then fold it under. So the original sleeve had a slit here. I sewed mine up all the way and just left a gap of fabric at the top. So there's a few different ways you could choose to finish the end for the cuff. And since this is just fun and super sequenced, I'm just gonna leave a little gap here. That way when we shut it, it closes and it looks great. Now we're just gonna stitch right where we took that last stitch out. Don't forget to back stitch. Our sleeves are done and they look awesome. Now all we need to do is attach them to the jacket and we can wear our jacket. Now what we're gonna do is take the sleeve and we're just going to insert it into the jacket opening with the right side facing out, and we're going to pin right in the seam here, making sure you have about a 1/2 inch under it because that's what we allowed for our seam allowance, and go ahead and pin this. Now we're not sewing it with right sides together and flipping it out because I just cut it out. If you didn't just cut it out and you had a flat open seam, you could totally put right sides together and then flip it out, but we're just inserting it underneath and then we're gonna go ahead and top stitch on that seam that's already there. I have the sleeve all pinned up and we are ready to sew it down. Don't forget to back stitch and be careful sewing through the thickness of the denim and the sequin. Don't forget the back stitch and cut. We did it! We finished the jacket. How easy was it to cut off the sleeves, cut a different fabric out, reattach the cuffs, and sew them back on? Easy breezy, and now we have an updated super fun denim jacket. Check it out. We have fantastic sleeves on our denim jacket. I'm getting some very glam rock Bowie vibes from this jacket. I think I might put a few patches on it and have a new denim jacket. Thanks so much for watching Sew Anastasia today. If you have any questions on how to change out the sleeves on your denim jacket, leave it down below and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, give it some applause, and leave a comment down below on your favorite part. Also, I would love to see your denim jacket transformations, so make sure you tag me in your posts so that way I can share them on social media and keep everyone inspired. Speaking of social media, make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest. And all those other fabulous social media websites that are out there, I'm on all of them. That way we can stay connected and inspired. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!